Hello, filmmakers and film lovers. This is Kirsten with Rogue Cinema, and tonight we have a spooky guest joining us, Blair Bathory from Fear House. Hey, Blair.
Good evening.
Awesome. All right, so first of all, we got to talk about Fear House. So what exactly is it?
Fear House is an online showcase of independent short horror films hosted by me, Blair Bathory, and it's a web series shot in Atlanta, Georgia, where we, in a similar vein of Tales from the Crypt, Tales from the Dark Side, introduce the world to really good horror movies. So.
Awesome. Okay, so, and with that, you're getting a lot of comparisons to 80s style projects like that. What sets yours apart?
Mine is different because it's all independently made. The series itself is independently made, and all the films are from independent filmmakers from around the world. So that's something that's different. Also, it's online, so there's no time limit. So we have films that are in minutes to 20 minutes and everything in between. So there's a lot of freedom in regards to the content that we show. So, and we show every subgenre of horror. We have really gory body horror and comedic horror and zombies and everything else that's great in the genre we've shown. So
that's awesome. And of course, you're making this free for viewers on your YouTube channel, right?
Absolutely. Everything's free. So you can go on YouTube right now and check it out.
The what?
I said you can go on YouTube right now and check it out.
Very cool. And it's just, what is the YouTube URL?
Well, right now, unfortunately, we still haven't met the guidelines of YouTube to have a personalized YouTube URL. So right now it's XYZ blah blah blah. I couldn't even pronounce it to you, but once we hit the 500 subscriber mark, which we're only 130 short of, we can have it be Fear House YouTube channel. But for right now, you can find everything through our Facebook, which is facebook.com/thefearhouse. You can also go to our website, fearhouse.com. We're on Twitter @thefearhouse, Instagram @fearhouse. So there's several different ways you can find us, and all the links to YouTube are through those outlets. So
very cool. So, and of course, the Fear House. Now, is the whole Fear House, because you're about to go on the road, are you taking the whole Fear House crew and everybody with you, and where are you guys going?
No, I am hosting the Spooky Empire International Horror Film Festival, which is in October in Orlando. Some of the crew members will be going with me. I'll have a Curtis Watkins who will be shooting some behind-the-scenes footage for us. But mainly going there to host the film festival and to potentially get some interviews with some spooky people. But no, we're not uprooting Fear House and moving to Florida. But Halloween weekend I will be hosting Spooky Empire Film Festival, and also September 13th I'll be hosting the block of short horror films at the Rome International Film Festival, and that's it for this year. So maybe next year there'll be more appearances, but for now it's just those two.
Very cool. So, and with Spooky Empire and the whole Fear House thing, so how did you happen into this? So you started out as a filmmaker, and then what was the next step for you to enter the Fear House?
Well, Fear House basically came about because I felt like there wasn't anything out there like this, and it's something that I thought needed to happen. FearNet, which is no longer in existence, was the only website that hosted short horror films, And since their closure, which was last year, I haven't found anywhere else that is specific to that genre. So I really wanted there to be a home created for the short films, and also I wanted to harken back to that old school anthology feel, so it just seemed like a really good fit to combine those two. And then I also, in my experiences making short films myself, just the amount of effort and cost it takes to get your work seen. I thought if there was somebody that was the cheerleader for these filmmakers, that potentially they could have another, platform to get their work seen to a larger audience. So that's kind of where the
Uh-oh. Blair, did we lose you?
What?
Oh, I thought we lost you for a second there. Okay, so now here's a question. Now, people in indie film typically are either working other jobs, or some have made this their whole careers. Now, a lot of them put a lot of money and time into this. And Fear House is being released online for free. And a lot of these films, are some of the older films like that were made back in like 2012, 2013, or are these filmmakers that just don't care about submitting them to festivals?
No, everything that I've screened so far has done a festival run already, is online, has been public for several years. It's just since faded into obscurity. They're not getting a constant stream of views anymore because it's not new. Mm-hmm. So what I'm trying to do is essentially revive these films and bring them up from the depths, and again, hopefully find a new audience for them. But no, I'm not screening anything new. I'm not actively going out and getting original content, or creating original content rather. It's just something where I'm essentially curating the channel. I find shorts that I think are really good, and I think that need to be brought back to life. So. But yeah, they've already been public, and they've already, made their run. So it's not like they're not losing anything from it.
Okay. So stipulations with the films, I know that you want them between 10 and 20 minutes, but what other stipulations do you have as far as when you look at them for the Fear House?
Yeah, so it has to be under 20 minutes, so anywhere from 60 seconds to 20 minutes is the timeline.
Okay.
Which is pretty broad. I mean, pretty much every short film is under 20 minutes. What I look for is originality and a high production value, and I'm trying to show stuff that's not too old, like 2010 to now is roughly the release day I look for, and I try to find something that's unique about it, something that isn't a rehash of something we've seen a million times over. For instance, I mention him a lot, but he really is right now one of my favorite filmmakers, Andy Stewart in the UK. He does amazing body horror, and I just haven't seen anybody really tackling that genre, that subgenre currently. So he's the guy. He's the guy. If you want to see some gory movies, he's the one. So I've screened his film, Split, and then Brian Lonano, who was our last episode, who did The Transmission. I have never seen a film like that, a short film like that. It's phenomenal. It's super different. It's really well crafted, and it was shot on film. It was shot on 35 millimeters. So that's something that's unique to that particular movie, and I thought it would be a really cool one to introduce. So we did some cool stuff in the intro and outro involving like this old television, and Brian lives in Atlanta, so he was able to come on set. He entered Fear House, and we did a little interview with him in regards to the movie. So I'm going to start trying to do that a little bit more if the filmmaker is available and they're in the area. I'm going to do a quick interview. The interview is like only 3 minutes long, but he talks about his influences when he made the film and talks about his current projects. So, yeah, that was a long-winded answer, but basically I just look for originality and something that's exciting and fresh and that would be a good film to show to the world, you know. And there's so many out there. There's so many good short horror films in the world.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy.
And how do people submit? They just email thefearhouse@gmail.com, or as
What?
I just gave out your email.
Oh, yeah. It's fine. Yeah, basically, you know, if you want to submit, you can send through the Fear House email or Facebook. I've had a few people contact me. But I'm really not actively asking for submissions, only because I kind of have a backup of films that I want to screen. I have a list of about 300 short films that I want to get on Fear House, so that's going to take up quite a bit of time.
So when you're doing this every other week, and are you doing this, and like, are you going to do like 20 a season, or are you going to do seasons, or are you just going to keep chugging along until you run out?
I don't know. We'll see what happens. I don't really have a rhyme or reason to it yet, only because it's brand new, and I'm kind of like feeling it out and seeing from audience response.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to do it year-round, but if it's something where I do it until the end of the year and then I take off the beginning of the year to do like conventions and stuff, you know, I might do that, but I don't know. We'll see. Not really sure yet.
And what impact is this having on your filmmaking career? Aside from you are filmmaking by doing the intros and outros, but what impact is this taking? Is this what you're doing now instead of doing films, or are you doing films at the same time, or is this making things better for you, like more connections? How is it helping or hurting?
It's definitely created a lot more connections. But it's also creating a lot more influences. I mean, I'm seeing stuff that I would have never had the opportunity to see because I don't have the money to go to every horror film festival in the country. So, you know, I have a chance to see movies that I probably wouldn't have seen otherwise. But no, I'm still actively working on narrative film. I've got a reality show thing potentially happening, and then
that's going to star Blair Bathory?
Perhaps. I don't know. We'll see. But no, that's happening, and then Fear House is obviously going to go as far as that can go, and I'm going to push that to the highest level that it can possibly go, and then I still want to do a feature film at some point. So I've kind of stepped back from doing short films only because I don't have the money, and I do not feel like doing another crowdfunding thing. So doing a feature, I think, is what's next in line. So
that's not a bad place.
Yeah, I mean, I just have not been focused on it only because Fear House has taken up so much time. But
very cool. All right, Blair. So now that you're deep into the whole Fear House thing, what is a piece of advice that you would give to aspiring filmmakers, female or male?
Just do it. Stop talking about it and just do it. That's my biggest piece of advice. I know a lot of really talented people that put barriers in front of themselves and make excuses, and yes, it's really, really hard. It's really difficult, and there are a tremendous amount of roadblocks that you have to get around, but at the end of the day, if it's something you really want to do, you'll figure a way out to do it. So, just take the initiative and go out there and make your movies. And the other thing is don't get discouraged by your first 2 films, or your first film or your second film. The process of creating and being a creative is just that, is learning from your mistakes and moving forward. So
that's pretty good advice, Blair.
Yes.
All right, cool. So when is the next episode of Fear House?
It'll be early August. I don't know the date. The second week of August. So.
Okay. So second week of August, Wednesday.
But you can keep. It's every Wednesday. It's and then this upcoming Wednesday is the interview with Brian. So, I'll look forward to that.
That's exciting. So you have that coming up, and then what date are you doing the Rome Festival?
Yeah, that's September 13th. Rome, Georgia. Block of short horror films all night, and that'll be fun. And then, yeah, Spooky Empire, if you want to submit your films, we're taking film submissions until September 7th. So if you want to submit through Film Freeway, it's filmfreeway/Spooky Empire FF. And the submission fees are super low for filmmakers, so I think a short film under 10 minutes is $5, 10 to 30 is $10, and then feature lengths are $15. I think is what the prices are.
If your film gets in, what do you get? If your film gets into the festival, do you get passes? Do you get anything for it?
Yeah, so if you are selected to screen, you get 2 weekend passes to the entire convention, discounted rate at the hotel that the convention's at. I don't know if I'm allowed to announce this yet. Well, we're partnering with a big company, a horror company, and they are going to be providing a lot of... So the winners of the festival get a lot of promotional stuff, and that's, I think, all I can say right now until it's like a finalized. But there is a certain brand that will be promoting your film if you win. So, and then of course, Spooky Empire has a ton of guests this year. We're doing Rocky Horror Picture Show reunion, Fright Night reunion.
Nev Campbell.
Yeah, Nev Campbell, George Romero, the Grady twins, and that's just to name a few. So, and I think they're still announcing people, but and then of course me, I'll be there.
Will Trooper be there too?
Trooper will not be there. No, he doesn't like. I don't know if you can see him. He's sitting back there, watching.
Yep.
Yeah. Hey, Trooper. Our room's a total mess. This is what the room of a horror hostess looks like. A mess.
Nice. All right. Well, Blair, cool. Thanks for joining us. Spooky Empire Festival and, of course, Fear House. And you can go to Where Can We Find First Date, which is your first debut horror film.
Yeah, First Date is on YouTube. So First Date, it's called First Date, A Modern Love Story. It's on YouTube. Just type that in.
Kitty is also on there?
No. Kitty will be public after this year. So November, probably.
All right. So we'll check those out. Thank you, Blair, for joining us. And so how many more views do you need for the subscribers on YouTube?
I think like 130 or something like that.
And how many fans do you already have?
330, something like that.
Hey, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, yeah. But we need 500. So subscribe to Fear House, please, please. And that's another thing. If you're watching the series, please comment on the videos and like the videos. It's extremely important. There's a lot of really big opportunities for Fear House if people are watching. So please do that. And if you have been watching the series since the beginning, thank you so much. We are doing this for you, the horror fans, so thank you. I really appreciate it.
Awesome. All right, Blair. Well, thank you so much, and we'll check out all of those places.
Thank you.
All right, and thank you, film lovers and filmmakers, and we will catch you guys next time with Rogue Cinema.